What's going on? Today I clutched up wearing the PJs. Let's go. Anyways, today the trade was long. We went long on NQ. There was a 15-minute supply here. It was used right here. We tapped it and sold off heavily. And this morning, CPI ripped us above it. We traded above it and we hit the 6 hour supply and came back into that used invalid supply, and I went long once I saw some significant volume and a reclaim of the top of the invalid zone. So I went long here, and I went long 5 micros. And I took off 3 micros here at a 2.5R. And I took off one more micro here once we traded above the pre-market high over here. And then I took another off over here. And then I'll show you guys soon. I entered another short trade because I saw us reclaiming this pre-market high. So I entered short here expecting us to dump below. I thought the trade was pretty valid. In hindsight, the reclaim was a long time ago. I mean, that's like an hour away, and not only that, we're slicing through supply over and over, so that just proves supply is not super valid for the day. Anyways, we're continuing to rip high. My original target was this 45-minute used supply, but I thought that was greedy, and yeah, I got out a little early, I guess. But I'll show you guys the trade and stay tuned. One trade wiped out a little over 3 losses from previous days. That's the power of risk to reward, and half these trades were losers. It says I took 4, but it's only 2 trades. It says 4 because of partials that I was taking. If we come up to my data, I'm up a little under 1,000 on the month. Win rate is 27, terrible. And my average win to loss is 3.5, which is solid, and that's the reason we're profitable. My rebuild date is on the 27th, so we have about 10 trading days left for the rebuild, and I'm going to continue sizing up before that date, so we either blow the account or get funded before the date. And yeah, let's get into that trade. Like I showed you guys earlier, I went long once we came back into that invalid 15-minute supply, and it did correlate, now that I see, with VWAP. So there's a bunch of confirmation for this trade, and it looked really beautiful, and it worked out right away. So that's what I like to see in my trades. I took off the first 3 contracts right away in 3 minutes, which is beautiful. Now that I'm looking back, I was risking $300 on this trade, which would have left me with only $200 of drawdown on the account, which is pretty much a blown account, maybe 1 trade left in the tank, but thankfully this trade did work out. Here I am raising my TP, and I realized I was at 2.5R, so you see me right there take off 3 contracts, and I moved my stop up to break even, so it would be impossible for me to lose on this trade. Alright, so still in this trade, I'm moving my orders all over the place. Here, I'm moving my stop loss to 2.5R, so no matter what, I get 2.5R on all 5 micros. And I was praying that it didn't come back down, that I could squeeze a little bit more out of this trade. Here we are breaking that pre-market high in 6-hour supply, and I expected a lot of resistance here just because supply has been working more than demand recently, and this is a major zone with a huge sell-off prior. So I took 1 contract off here, letting only 1 left to run. Now I was seeing a reaction, a reclaim of that pre-market high inside 6-hour supply, which is confirmations for me to take a short trade. So we were coming down, and I was like, yeah, if I'm taking short, I'm getting out of this position. Took off the full position, locked in $918, and I went short with small size here, just because all my confirmations lined up. There was volume, there was a reclaim, and this zone was a major zone. and I was seeing a lot of selling pressure, so I went short. So the trade worked in my favor right away, but quickly got bought up again. There were a lot of sellers in this zone, but they were covering. They were trying to get out of their positions as quick as possible. And yeah, we got stopped out of this trade. I went half size just because I had a huge win, and I didn't love that I was fighting the trend so aggressively on this trade. The reclaim was far away, and we were trading deep into the supply. Reversals tend to work the best at the beginning of a zone instead of deep into a zone. So I got stopped out, locked the account, and that was the day. We're basically just trading sideways at the top of this invalid zone. In my opinion, this would be a good place to look for longs, maybe with a tight stop below this pre-market high, aiming for this 45-minute used supply. That would give you a crazy risk to reward on this trade. Thank you guys for watching this trade. Hopefully we can make something happen in the next 10 trading days, and stay tuned for what happens to this account. Hope you traded well. Leave a comment and stay tuned for the next live trade. Peace.